It certainly has been a shaky couple of weeks for the US markets. A lot of people are wondering what is coming next. Last week certainly was a very intensive one for US main indexes. We are seeing articles suggesting that Trump has pummeled America to the edge of recession. We're seeing so many people now questioning, wondering whether assets are overvalued, and most critically, whether assets are going to crash, whether markets are about to come down. Now, this comes after we see a positive day yesterday on Monday, where the Dow closes more than 300 points higher, which is a good sign, and the S&P is also up. With that being said, we can't ignore the broader market sentiment. We can't ignore the general trend, right? And yes, maybe this is the start of an uptrend. I'm not here to discuss that particularly, but there is certainly something worth noting in these fears. And by the way, it's not just the markets themselves that are very concerned about this, it's actually companies as well. I'm going to give you an example of Tesla, a company that we're going to speak about later today as well, but trade wars are certainly going to be impacting them. Tesla is warning of disproportionate tariff impacts, and this is because other countries can obviously retaliate. Now, regardless of what you think to the tariffs, whether you think it's good or bad, is of course your decision. But one thing is certain, and one thing I think everyone can agree with, that is that it is certainly creating an environment where a lot of people are nervous, a lot of companies are aware of the impact this could have on their bottom lines, basically. And you know, even though Elon Musk is the owner and CEO of Tesla to some degree, the company is worried about the effect of tariffs, right? Because we could see disproportionate, according to them, retaliatory tariffs, right? It's not impossible that other countries could start to put tariffs on US-made goods to a larger extent. And of course, electric car maker Tesla is certainly aware of this. So they're not the only company suggesting this, right? They are not the only company which is implying that we could see a downtrend in spending, a downtrend in purchases of US products. You know, there's an entire sentiment in a lot of markets with a lot of people suggesting boycotting US products. But it's not just in external markets where we are seeing this. We're talking about weak consumer spending at US stores, which is also sparking recession fears. And I think this is where people need to kind of acknowledge one thing, a bigger detail, right? We can speak about the fact that Trump may be potentially crashing the economy, Trump may be bringing the economy down, but one thing that we've seen for a long time, right, layoffs in numerous sectors, including the heavily, arguably inflated, to be honest, tech sector. This has been laying people off for a long period of time. Just look at this chart here, it says everything. We've seen stocks climb for month after month, with the S&P and main indexes hitting basically all-time highs. So there certainly is a strong argument to be made for yes, Trump is not helping the economy, but a lot of people have been implying or believing that it could be on its way down for a while anyway. Again, we are seeing consumer confidence plunging to 29-month low in the US as economic uncertainty starts to grow, right? Consumer sentiment in the US fell for the third consecutive month in March, now down 22% from December of 2024. And this is when, or before I should say, President Trump took office. So, the University of Michigan survey showed that consumer sentiment fell to 57.9 this month, which is a 29-month low. The index showed participants' expectations for the future on their personal finances and stock market had deteriorated. And again, this is now coming into the markets, right? We're seeing this in a lot of different markets. Yes, we had a positive day yesterday in the S&P, the Dow, and a few other main indexes, but what is the broader trend going to be over the next, say, 6-12 months, right? If we are seeing this sentiment where people are not spending money, these companies are likely going to continue to put out worrying economic data. They're going to continue to warn investors, warn markets, as we've seen a lot of big companies doing. If you've been watching the channel for some time, it really is a shaky time, but it looks like this economy is certainly on a shaky ground, to say the absolute least. I just wanted to bring you guys the latest in these stories, right? Warnings from Tesla, warnings from some of the biggest companies in the US, arguably some of the biggest companies in the world. Certainly something that's worth paying attention to, right? These are the people that know what they're speaking about, and to hear it coming out from them, perhaps, is particularly worrying. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, give it a like and subscribe, and I hope I'll see you soon. Goodbye.